Okay, so this is Michael again, and back to another Monday, another demo lesson for Monday. So today it is time for another table lesson, and today's lesson was actually suggested by a student, and this is the question. And I would encourage more of you, if you have questions like this that they're just puzzling you or you don't know what to do with them, or you just like me to make a lesson on it, then please feel free to send it to me. You can post it or you can direct message me. Either way is completely fine. Um, Before we start, I just want to say a few things about this question. So first of all, there's this like arrow thing here. That seems to have no significance. I'm not sure what it is, but I have chosen to ignore it because I've never seen this before. The other thing then is the question statement. It would normally have like a place, so it would normally say like the name of a country or the name of a city and also the year that the information was taken from. But I assumed that it is from now, so that way we're taking it as if it's from now. And finally, there's no unit. So what I've done is I've just assumed that these are all percentages. So I want you to make the same assumptions as me, so that when we go through the question, we're all on the same page. So I'm going to get you to kind of write this essay in pieces. So as we go along, we're gonna write the essay together. But I want you to kind of wait and follow my instructions. So I'll tell you when I want you to write. So for now, if you just have a pen and a pencil, a pen or a pencil and some paper ready, and I'll get you to write the essay as we go through the lesson. The main issue I'm expecting with a question like this is obviously there's so many items, so many figures. So we have like in total it's 10 categories and then 3 different age groups. So that brings you a total of 30 figures to deal with. So the issue I am expecting is with the analysing of the question and also writing the details paragraphs. So that's what we're going to focus on here. So to analyse the question, the first thing I want you to do is just analyse it yourself. So kind of take a look and decide what exactly would you choose as the key features, what things are significant, what things are not significant. So it's probably best if you just pause the video and analyse it yourself first. So what I'm going to show you now is just the bits that I have marked on the table. So these are my own annotations for analysing and choosing my key features. So if you've chosen the same as me, it will be very obvious to you what you're looking at. But again, if you analyse the chart differently, now it doesn't mean that what you've done is incorrect, but I'd like you to just pause the video and try to determine why have I circled these pieces of information. So just pause the video, and when you're ready to continue, press play and I'll explain what you're looking at here. Okay, so this first one, manufacturing. So you can see 23% here is the highest percentage for all of the oldest age group here. 23% is the highest percentage for the youngest, and 18% is the highest percentage for the middle age group. So that's what I've done with manufacturing, retail, and other are the highest percentages for each of the categories. And then all of accountancy is circled because this 3, 2, and 2, these percentages for accountancy are actually the lowest for all 3 categories, so that's quite significant again. Okay, so those 4 items are what I'm going to use in my overview. Now, if you use a different, if you analyse the question differently, that's fine, but I want you to kind of continue with the way I analysed it so that the lesson makes more sense and we're all doing the same thing. Right, so you've analysed the question, the first thing you need to do is paraphrase. So again, I want you to just pause the video and paraphrase this for me. Continue when you are ready. What I came up with was the chart shows figures for age groups in various employment sectors. So you can see that I've even taken a lot of the same vocabulary. So I've taken age groups, I've taken employment sectors. So again, that's fine. if those are the only ways you can think of, if you can think of synonyms, that's fine. But if your synonyms are, you're kind of pushing it, or you're forcing it, or you're not sure, it's best just to go with what the question, what the vocabulary is in the question. Okay. So again, these are the markings that we left on the table from when we were analysing it, and what I would like you to do is to write your overview. So pause the video, write the overview based on these key features, and then continue when you're ready. So I'm going to continue, and I'm going to assume that you're finished. The thing that I would expect, what I would expect to be the most common mistake with you guys would be if you discussed manufacturing first, then retail, then other. In that order, you would have gone from the oldest to the youngest to the middle. Now remember that one of the very important factors for coherence and cohesion is that you need to logically order the information. Now logically ordering the information, what would be the most obvious thing to do would go retail first, because it's the youngest, other next, because it's the middle age group, and manufacturing, because it's the oldest. So go youngest, middle, oldest, that's the most logical way to do it. Then at the end would be an extra sentence for accountancy, where you're just saying that that was the lowest for each category. Okay, again, in the overview, you don't want to include any actual data. So the numbers, like 23, 23, 18, 322. If you have included this in your overview, then it has become useless, basically. It is no longer an overview if you put in those numbers, so just make sure that you avoided that as well. So I said I was just going to focus on analysing the question and the details paragraph, so I haven't written the overview, but just make sure you avoided those mistakes. Right, so in the first details paragraph, what I'm going to do is I'm going to include manufacturing, retail, and other. I'm also going to include the 3 figures for manufacturing, the 3 figures for retail, and the 3 figures for other. So this one I'm going to have 9 percentages in total, and I think that's enough. So what I want you to do is do that. So just write the first details paragraph based on manufacturing, retail, and other, and we're only including 3 categories because we're going to include all the data. So that should be enough for now. When you're finished this details paragraph, I want you to just continue watching the video, and then I will show you my what I wrote. So pause the video for now until you're ready. So this is what I came up with for this paragraph. The youngest age group work primarily in retail with 23%, whereas this job only accounts for 7 and 6% for the other age groups. The highest number of the middle age group are employed in other sectors, which also includes 21% of the 18 to 25-year-olds and 9% of the 40 to 65-year-olds. The oldest age group work mostly in manufacturing at 23%, which stands at 12% and 15% for the youngest and middle age group respectively. We're going to do the exact same thing for the final paragraph, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to include accountancy, just to say that this was the lowest, and include the 3 figures, and then I'm going to put agriculture, catering, local government, health, law, and education all together. Because I can't really ignore these categories, but also I can't spend too much time or use too many words for this. So I'm just going to kind of put them all together and try to cover them in the one. So I'll show you how I've done this later, but I want you to try first. So again, pause the video and then press play when you're ready to see my answer. So this is what I came up with for the final paragraph. Accountancy has the lowest percentage for all 3 age groups at 3% for the 18 to 25, 2% for the 25 to 40, and another 3% for the 40 to 65 age group. The remaining employment sectors, namely agriculture, catering, local government, health, law, and education, account for between 4 and 18% in the different age groups. So you can see that I've just mentioned them, I've said enough not to ignore them, and given it the range for all of them together. So that means I've covered everything. I've included my key features, I've explained my key features, and given data for my key features, and then just one sentence to avoid repeating everything. So here is my finished essay, or my almost finished essay, because I didn't write the overview. But the paraphrase, the first details and last details paragraph, that amounts to 137 words. So when you add in the overview, you can see that that will definitely bring us up to the word count that we need. Right, so I have a similar question in that there's a lot of data included. So this is the question I want you to answer. As always, when you're finished, type it up and put it into the comments below this video, and I will be back to you all for the global feedback tomorrow. Right, so that's it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing your answers. Okay, bye-bye now.